Welcome back. Both the United Workers' Party and the St. Lucia Labour Party are readying their political camps, and a full roster of candidates for both parties is imminent. There is even a third party in the mix. Oftentimes, though, it is lamented that politics is much of the same, with the same recycled politicians. So, if you are desirous of new blood, as they say, we want to know who exactly you have in mind. A few names have been bandied around as potential candidates or people who have been approached by political parties. But we wanted to hear from you, the general public. Here's what you had to say.
We all know the current crop of politicians, from the Alan Chasnays to the Dr. Kenny Anthonys, to the Philip J. Pierres, to the Guy Josephs. Now, with elections in the air, a fresh call has gone out for a new batch of politicians to step in and lead the nation. Now, with that said, we took to the streets to ask you, the members of the public, who you'd like to see enter into elective politics and why.
Well, to be honest, yes, I'm in favor of, what's his name, Dr. Stevenson King?
Dr. Stephen King.
Dr. Stephen King. Yes, I believe he can do it, he's capable of doing it. He's a doctor and he knows how to deal with human beings. So I call on him also.
I see guys like Dr. King. I see guys like Jimmy Fletcher. Dr. Jules, you know, from the road there. And a few guys, Dr. Alexis from Soufrière. If you want, no, I'll give you names. I see people like, no, hear me, you seem out of place to see people like Dimpolette, but that is a very good lady. I see people like another lady, I had a name in mind, but I cannot forget. These people can come ahead, but again, will people accept them for what they are or for what they are heading to?
To enter is Chasney. Because of Chasney, is the only way I could do something for the country. Okay, that's it.
Dr. King alone, I could say that could experience us now.
See Mr. King, Adrian Auger, Dr. Fletcher, Jimmy Fletcher, I watching as Kazime could inspire young people to be as you know, people, leaders. They see I could form a new party and run the country, because we have two now, and at least the two is good, but one, I watching us still, the SLP is still a very good choice of running the country. But those I'm talking about there, Mr. King, Jimmy Fletcher, Adrian Auger, Kazime, all these guys could just form their own party. And I guess they could run the country the way they're supposed to run.
It's more money we ourselves losing because, you know, the pocket empty, you know. I would rather to leave the one that's already there. Sometimes things happen, you know, because what's going on there right now is not his fault. It's all over the world. So we St. Lucians have to give and take to see that it's true we was in a lockdown, but the lockdown we was in, it was for our own safety.
I have a new candidate going up for my area, which is Mr. Wayne Girard, who is going to emerge victory in Anstory Canaries. That's all I have to say.
Well, blessed love, give thanks for life. Well, understanding the whole political system of the Caribbean, remember that we came out of slavery, you know, and from slavery we were colonized, and then we came out of colonialism. Now, Governor Hugh Foote, ex-governor of Jamaica, gave a proclamation on the 11th of November, 1957, that we the people had self-determination and self-governance. So they formed the federation after. In 1961, the federation was broke down because Bustamante pulled out. He said 1 out of 10 gives 0. And then they formed the political system that we have now, which has not taken in consideration the rights of the people. So more or less, I cannot see anyone aspiring to be underneath the Queen's rule, because we are here under the Queen's government. It's the Queen's parliament, it's the Queen opposition.
The only person I see there now is Philip J. Pierre, nobody else. That's the only person I see right now, personally. And the other partner I see that could be a good sports minister for us is Bax Steed from La Clary. Yeah, them two people. Right now, what we have there is nonsense. I'm sure alone.
I have a new candidate going up for my area, which is Mr. Wayne Girard, who is going to emerge victory in Anstory Canaries. That's all I have to say.
I don't want to mention names, but somebody who's spiritual, an elder, a godly person, you know, somebody that will, take the interest of the people, somebody that will have more love for others than themselves, right? Someone who is not interested in getting rich, but in seeing that the nation go forward, especially the youth, the elderly. This is what I would like to see. Somebody that is filled with love, man, and not himself.
A very great politician in Richard Frederick. To me, he sounds very sincere. I believe in him, I trust him, honestly. Richard Frederick is the best politician to me right now.
Because the young politicians will come as a bunch of opportunists. You have to go with the experienced politicians who have been in politics for a while and know what they are doing. So what we have to do, the people, we have to choose between the two reigning parties, either the UWP or the SLP. You make your choice and you vote for the party of your choice.
Well, you've just heard their thoughts on the matter. Want a chance to share your opinions? Join us next time for Have Your Say. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
In keeping with changes in international oil prices and government's application of the modified market pass-through petroleum pricing mechanism, the retail prices of LPG 20, 22 and 100-pound cylinders have increased, while diesel, kerosene and gasoline remain the same. The price changes took effect today, Monday, the 29th of June 2020. Gas remains unchanged at $11.50 per gallon. Kerosene remains unchanged at $7.15 per gallon. Diesel remains unchanged at $10.44 per gallon. The 20-pound cylinder increased from $25.82 to $27.01. The 22-pound cylinder increased from $28.40 to $29.71. The 100-pound cylinder increased from $144.05 to $155.93. The next adjustment of prices for fuel products will be on Monday, the 20th of July 2020. The Permanent Secretary in the Department of the Public Service said COVID-19 has propelled the government to think differently about the way it conducts business and delivers services to the public. The government, she said, needs to remain open-minded, objective, innovative, and nurture innovation. More in this report from Glenn Simon.
In an article from the World Economic Forum, working from home was a luxury for the affluent before coronavirus. Not anymore, as social distancing protocols due to COVID-19 have caused more employees to work from home than ever before. Permanent Secretary in the Department of the Public Service, Peggy Ann Sudat, believes that the public service needs to be more open and receptive to the new modalities for doing business. COVID-19, she said, provides opportunities for a blended approach to work.
Sometimes I think we think of COVID like something that has happened or something that we know will end by a particular period of time. We really don't know. So we must put measures in place to ensure that we're able to deal with any situation that arises, and not only COVID, but there are a number of other situations we may not have envisaged right now, but that will hit us just as hard as COVID did.
Health and safety issues such as mold, air quality and other environmental concerns constantly plague the public service, forcing government to increase its operational cost in providing alternative workspaces. PS Sudat says, due to COVID-19, public service managers have realized the productivity benefits of teleworking.
We've seen many ministries adopting a blended approach to work, and they have reported very high productivity levels. We understand that not many people are able to work from home for one reason or the other, but it should not stop us from identifying what can be done, how it can be done in different ways to achieve the same result.
Government recently launched its digital platform called DigiGov. Minister for Economic Development, Transport and Civil Aviation, Honorable Guy Joseph, is hopeful that the digital economy will lead to increased productivity gains and radically change the way we work.
Government has been stuck in the Stone Age when it comes to the use of technology. Basically, the number of times I had to travel to meetings overseas. COVID forced us into a situation were the same meetings that we could have had, virtual meetings. We were not having them today. All the meetings are taking place on Zoom. And you are still getting the work done. So, I believe that where we are going with this is something that should be welcome, that the people of St. Lucia would get a much more efficient service.
The minister also highlighted the economic impact of the 8 a.m. rush hour commute, which he termed the crawl hour, with many man-hours lost in traffic. To this, the Permanent Secretary said, it is time to think out of the box, or even stand on it.
The discussion needs to start because it's happening all over the world. We're speaking of digitization and, digital transformation and so on. Is it necessary to like you said, come through that rush hour or the crawl hour to work? And, when these things could easily be done from home, we are asking our clients to do it from home. Can we do it from home? We need to start the discussion. We need to talk about it.
She stated that this paradigm shift in alternative work arrangements comes with its own fears, concerns, and pushback, as some supervisors and employees still believe the best way to monitor and get maximum output is to be physically located within the office. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.
Iran has issued an arrest warrant for U.S. President Donald Trump over the killing of top Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani in Iraq in January. A Tehran prosecutor said Mr. Trump and 35 others faced murder and terrorism charges and that Interpol had been asked to help detain them. However, Interpol said it would not consider the Iranian request. The U.S. Special Representative for Iran said the warrant was a propaganda stunt and that nobody would take it seriously. Soleimani died in a drone strike near Baghdad International Airport ordered by Donald Trump, who said the general was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of American troops and was planning an imminent attack. Iran retaliated by firing ballistic missiles at an Iraqi military base housing U.S. forces. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Sports and weather are coming up after the break.